Good day, and welcome to the Budding Entrepreneur Podcast. I'm your host, Randy Bridges. In each episode, I cover my experiences, both good and bad, of being a business builder, as well as my journey through the crazy world of entrepreneurship to reach my goal of earning $10 million a year. Okay, we're on episode 131 of the podcast. It is the 18th of January. That makes it the third week of the month, a good start for the new year, getting a lot done this year. I'm hoping you are doing the same. Looking at this week's podcast, we're going to be doing some more sequence chain examples. We're going to be talking about that later on and present a quote from Carlos Marin, who's a speaker and author. But first, we're looking at our books for this week. I am going through 177 Mental Toughness Secrets of the World Class by Steve Siebold. This is a great little book because it doesn't just give you information. It actually gives you perspective, concepts, and then it gives you tasks to accomplish each week or each day as you read very short secrets. They're usually only 2 or 3 pages at the most, and that includes all the information. He also gives you a good reading reference for that particular period of time that you're working on this. And you can go through these once a day, maybe once every 2 days, and get a lot done in a very short period of time. I'm also looking at 9-Figure Mindset by Brandon Dawson. I dug into that a little bit, but I found that, again, the Mental Toughness Secrets was something that really called to me. It's something that it's everything happening right now, not just going through the beginning of the year, but a lot of personal stuff. In fact, we're going to keep this podcast relatively short. Also, looking at Mastery by Robert Greene. I'm doing a kind of an overview of it right now, going through, looking a little bit at each particular chapter, and then moving on. This week's quote, as I mentioned, was from Carlos Marin. And it's a very good kind of a quote for those of us who are constantly striving to be better than we are now. He said, "Everyone is operating and running their lives at their current level of conscious awareness." Now, this reminds me a lot of the quote that what you got you here won't get you there, and the thinking that got you into the problem you are working to solve now will not get you past that point to solve the next problem. So that's a great kind of a quote. This week's business strategies, we're looking at sequence chain examples. Now, I've been talking about sequence chains, and I've been discussing a lot about what they are, but I really want to dig in here first before we go too far and talk about the actual definition of what a sequence chain is, what it does, and how it helps you. Basically, a sequence chain, as the process of this goes through, is any kind of a process, any kind of a strategy that you go through that has to be executed in a given order in order for it to be successful. Now, one part of it will often lead to the next part, and that part will lead to the third part, which will lead to the fourth, and you get the picture. Sequence chains, they play a crucial role in improving your efficiency and impacting your revenue in various business processes. And I've got 3 of them that I've called up here to give you an idea. When we talk about efficiency, we're not talking about productivity. Let me clarify this for everybody so that everyone knows what I'm thinking. Productivity is the total amount of units you fix, the widgets you do, the services you provide, total number that you get in the amount of time that you have. Efficiency is the total number of, say, widgets that you create minus the ones that were defective. So efficiency really works in that scale of how well did you do and not just how much did you do. It's not the same concept at all. So digging in, here's some examples of how sequence chains contribute to outcomes of efficiency and impact. One of the easiest ones is a sales funnel. Your sales teams can efficiently move prospects through the sales funnel, ensuring that each stage is systematically addressed. And you're going to use a lot of automation tools for this to handle a lot of repetitive tasks. A well-optimized sales funnel ensures that leads are effectively converted into customers, which positively impacts revenue. And it also allows you to better track and analyze the sales process, enabling adjustments that enhance the overall revenue generation for your business, your practice, whatever you do. Another sequence chain example is your client onboarding. Obviously, having a better prepared employee to be able to go through the rigors of what is necessary in the business is optimal. But for example, in a client onboarding, you have a predefined client onboarding sequence, and it's going to ensure that each new client or each new employee, if you really want, goes through a standardized process, reducing the likelihood of oversights and delays. And one of the best tools for this is automated onboarding, right? Where you're reducing the manual effort and you're minimizing the errors along the way. Impact on revenue. Efficient onboarding enhances the client experience, leading to increased satisfaction and loyalty. And that, in turn, positively impacts your client retention and the potential for upselling. Project management. This is probably one of the most common ones. The efficiency improvement is you get clearly defined project management sequences. Project is clearly laid out. Teams can stay organized. They allocate their resources effectively. And we do the best in project management to avoid the bottlenecks. Regular monitoring is a great tool to be able to help deal with that because you can see issues very quickly in advance and you can prevent the delays. Make sure your project stays on track. One of the best ways that efficiency improvement works through that is through the use of milestones. When you hit that milestone, it's a critical piece that must be completed in order for that project to actually be considered to be successful. And obviously, efficient project management, you get timely completion of projects and potential referrals. It's just the way that it works. And that all impacts your revenue positively. We're going to look at one more aspect here of the sequence chains. Obviously, we talked about efficiency and revenue impact. But the last piece that I really want to focus on is continuous improvement. If you have a process whereby your company is able to move through its cycles of growth through this process, you want continuous improvement. You don't want to just get better and then don't get any better than that. It's constantly pushing that dial forward. It's constantly asking more, constantly looking for more. That continuous improvement process is a critical piece of business strategies. It can stand alone on its own as probably one of the biggest sequence chains that you can do is building a continuous improvement loop at the end of everything you do. Every system you have, throw continuous improvement on the end of it. Figure out how you're going to get better at it. I'm going to wrap it up a little close today to the 10-minute mark. Again, our books, 177 Mental Toughness Secrets of the World Class by Steve Siebold, 9-Figure Mindset by Brandon Dawson, and Mastery by Robert Greene. Business starters dealing with sequence chain examples and outcomes of the process. I want to wish you the best in your health, your wealth, your business, your family, everything about you. Take care. We'll be back next week.